Good morning and welcome everybody to another episode of Orcs Must Die. So today I'm going to show you my personal preferred build for Thoricvod Village Sabotage. So again, this is not a sabotage game, just to keep it a little bit, well, to focus more on the layout instead of panicking around and trying to win. That's my idea. So let's go right into it. First off, what kind of hero do we need? There are actually three kinds of heroes required on this map. First off, a tank. One is definitely requires a tank before letting the enemies through. So having the tank on the right side, having some kind of low layout in front of the entrance and also at the walls, it's highly beneficial. The more bigger and tanky enemies are coming from the left side, so there is a little bit more focus, or there should be more focus on the left side due to the harder enemy types. The hero there, Mage, is usually a very good choice, just because of the reduced trap cost. Damage wise, he's lacking damage quite a bit until he reaches his level 10 Weaver. Then his damage increases automatically by 30%, if you're going for that Weaver, of course, which is highly recommended. Also Cygnus, place him in front of the core, build a kill box in front of the core, something that will slow enemies, and gather them together, and then just go for his mass murdering abilities, and there we go, easy victory. So those are the three heroes I would recommend. I'm going with Bianca this time, just because I need an extra chest, and also because it does not really matter. I just show you a basic idea how that might work. The traps. We definitely require something that reduces enemies' HP right at the front. So going with Brimstone, Tar and Spikes is highly recommended. And with highly recommended, I mean, I just like it. Let's put it that way, I just like it. There are a couple of different traps one could choose. Either one goes for a magic loadout, which is a little bit harder to pull off damage-wise, or straight up for Ice Fence. Also works really well together with Tundra as a tank on the right side. So what we go for are basically the kill box in front of the entrance. That one has two benefits. First things first, if you're going for Cygnus, the enemies are just done. It's an incredibly easy victory with Cygnus. So I personally would recommend going for the kill box in front of the entrance. The second advantage is you don't have to separate your money right away. You can just focus your entire coin generation in front of the gate, in front of the core, and then take the enemies. Take care of the enemies in one swoop. There we go. That's at least the idea I'm going for always. So in that case, we don't really go for spikes because it's not needed, but we go for an arcane bowling ball. You will see why. And what else? Also relatively beneficial, but it works only out with a pre-made group, is going with a power generator. So that at least the person who placed it will receive more money for future rounds. Again, it's beneficial, but not really recommended. The power generator, since it works only for one person and no enemy should be able to well, get past the tank, preferably, the power generator is just way less useful than actually can be. So that's why we go with a ceiling ballista, just to increase the deadliness of the kill box in front of the gate, in front of the core. Oh my lord, I can't get it straight. I apologize, just got my coffee. It's early in the morning. Would love to get it done with. Considering I do have a new CPU, now every video is a little bit bigger, so I need a lot of time to upload. Alright, anyways, let's get right to it. We have a loading screen, almost crashing as usual. Not a big deal. The only issue is this awkward silence. Alright. Okay. How do we do it in here? First off, we need a small entrance, which works like that. Then we go for some slow traps. Again, especially for a Cygnus player, it's great. As long as the enemies are slowed, you can just shoot your chain lightnings and everything else at the enemies, and will just die. More or less relatively easy. Then we go with bowling balls. Why? We will create a small entrance, more or less relatively on the right side, also more or less relatively on the left side. So they will have to take a relatively long path until they reached our main entrance. So they will also get damaged by the bowling ball and later by a swing mace as the bursty side, and especially for the damage over time we go with a grinder. It's straight up, well, a great trap. Also, what's possible to do to move the barricades a little bit, and then go with two traps, two tar traps. What's the beneficial of the tar traps? Oh, why are we going for two and not for just one? It's a little bit difficult to explain. Especially runners love to take... It's difficult to explain. Runners do love to take more left, they love to go more right or more left of a trap. So if we see our phantoms right here, some of them are taking the path that is not tarred. Of course, for bigger enemies, so middle orcs or heavy orcs, it does not matter. However, rhinos will not be slowed if they take the far right path. Basically, it would feel like they will teleport to the rift right away. So that's the benefit of that. Then we could go with two more barricades. And there we go. This is our hole. That's the basic loadout. We'll go for some towers in here with the grinders in front of the box. Let's go with the brimstone, and we'll do the same thing on the left side. And there we go. In a perfect world, this will hold everything. Of course, if one is going for some traps in front of the gate, on both sides, it will also reduce the total amount of enemies, which helps out even more. Especially if one is playing not with Cygnus. Because Cygnus is the only hero that has the biggest benefit in front of the gate. And in front of the rift, I mean. I'm sorry. Actually, it's relatively... It does not matter for now if we kill them in front of the entrance or not. I Actually, let's go with Brimstone only. There's no need for anything else. At this point, Brimstone is, in my case, only against runners. So at least they will die, hopefully soon. Or relatively early, at least. But so far, another thing, this map right now is Mage difficulty. And considering my high level, relatively high account level, there we go, 84, it's a little bit easier. So there is no real need in my case to go for big strategy, but I just show you the loadout because it's really beneficial. Actually, let's go. We don't have to wait.
Enemies are attacking on another front.
Let's see, can we place the Brimstone, or are we more or less out of time? Oh, there we go, it works perfectly.
They've broken through a gate.
Okay. So again, this side is a little bit more tanky, as you might see. We do have heavy orcs right away. We also have some hunters. Oh, and there we go. Kobolds. The kobolds are coming through. But as you see, the left side is immediately way tankier, just with heavy orcs. Of course, it's only heavy orcs. I can say it this way. But there will spawn quite a few trolls and ogres together with heavy orcs. So the left side should have some more or less bigger priority. I still don't know what to take. Let's go with that one. Why not? So 2 grinder. That should help out. The assassin mercenary, bright assassin, not a big deal, quite honestly. He's one of the weaker ones. One of the weaker ones, he is the weakest. Of course, his damage output against weaker heroes, or heroes with less HP, Ivy for example, is pretty big. It's incredibly big. He can slaughter Ivy within seconds. Okay, there we go. Now we do have a couple more ogres. Just cost time at this point. Let's go. Actually, how many? We need exactly 3 swing maces. That's the perfect loadout. That's exactly what you want. So the slow, I mean, the swing mace right in front of me is not as beneficial as those 2 swing maces. It's more as a just in case. It's sportive. It's more moral support at this point actually, but it still helps out. There we go. There are the trolls. But thankfully the combination between burst, also 2 relatively high burst traps, which are the arcane bowling ball and the swing mace, it's really beneficial. And nothing will get passed through it that easily. Another 1 and 2. Just 1 more and we're basically done with the left side. Money is a slight issue, I have to admit. The power generator, even a coin forge, might be a valid option. But then again, it usually works with a pre-made with a pre-made group. Going solo with a power generator, it's quite scary. Considering the rest of the team might not be all too happy with that decision. At least that's my experience. So, but that seems relatively solid. Oh, of course, those two jerks take way too much time. But there we are. Okay. Kind of afraid to leave this alone. Otherwise, we could try to go for more stars. But again, it's not really a big deal. Okay, the shamans should die. They're not allowed to live. Can we do it? Oh, booyah. So, that looks good. Those 3 ogres are done. And the rest is also done, isn't it? Indeed. Okay, no breaks. We don't need breaks. Let's go for 2 more grinder. And actually 1 ceiling ballista. Just in case.
They've summoned the boss minion. Boss minion defeated.
There we go, boss minion defeated. Do we have someone else? No, we do have only 2 trolls. Ah, this is so scary with Bianca. Only runners? That's it? Where's the rest though? Okay, that seems good then. And there we go, we're done. Oh, come on, die. Sweet, and as you have seen, it's even possible to achieve 5 stars on this one. Which is not a great layout to go for 5 stars, but it still works out. Well, of course, it's all about the level at this point. But anyways, this is a way, and my preferred way, how to deal with sabotage games on this map. It helps out. Instead of separating the money to 2 sides, you will have them. Well, you will create a more powerful kill box in front of the rift. But then again, you have to be sure that one in your team will go with Cygnus. Then it's even more beneficial. Then this kill box will show its true power. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you got some tips out of it and you will use them in your future sabotage games. If you enjoyed, click the like button, if not, click the dislike button. If you have any ideas how to improve the series or any general feedback, then just leave a comment in the section down below. Thank you for watching and have a good one.